Hey everybody, it's Nat Mayotte, speaking coach. I hope you are doing well today. So today I want to share one of the most important pieces of what I call the speaking puzzle. I want to share what it is to have a solid framework. But before I get started, I want to make sure that you like this video at the end, and I want you to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and do it. Hit the button because there will be a lot of great nuggets being dropped in the next few weeks, and I don't want you to miss out on any of them. So when I work with clients, I normally have 4 big pieces that I work on, and one of them is the framework of their talk. Where is the beginning, where's the middle, and where's the end? And let's be honest, this is not something new. If you are a seasoned keynoter or you have been writing, you know these parts already exist. But how do you make them functional for a keynote so that your audience stays engaged with you, so they know where you're going, what the roadmap is? And one of the things that's important is to keep some kind of fluidity, right? You want to keep it fluid so when you move from one piece to the other, they will be following with you as well. So one of the things I ask clients to do is think about, what is the end going to look like? What is the conclusion going to sound like? What do you want them to think, feel, or do? What action do you want them to take? Because once you determine that, you will be able to build on the next block. See, that's the foundation, your conclusion. And then your blocks are the content and the introduction and the hook. That's how it works. So we've determined that this is the conclusion. That's your foundation. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out what are your 3, 4, 5 main points that you want to bring to the table, that you want them to know about. For each of those things, you are going to have a story, an analogy, an example, something that will make it relatable to the audience. Because if you have people in the audience and they're nodding their heads like they don't know what you're talking about, it's probably because you're not being relatable. Recently, a client came to me and there was such lack of fluidity in the keynote that we had to sort of tear it apart and build it back up. So we had, here was your point, here was the story. Here's a point, here's my story. And we made sure with some really great transitions that those stories, just flowed one into the other. Those stories and those points were summarized in the conclusion. So now we have a foundation, we have the pinnacle pieces, which is the content. And now you have to introduce the topic. You have to tell them what you're going to talk about, on that particular day. Why should they be listening to you? What is going to pique their interest? And to do that, you have to lead it with a really strong hook. A hook is something that will catch their attention. Maybe it's a piece of data. Maybe it's a quote. Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 99% of the shots that you don't take. Everyone smiles at that one. Everybody knows what it is, especially if you're a hockey fan, like I sometimes am, being from Canada. And then that hook and leads into your introduction really is going to set the tone for what your listeners are going to hear. You're going to tell them what you're going to talk about without saying, today I'm going to talk about, because that is one of my faux pas, and I'll talk about that in another video. But I want you to see that if you have a solid foundation, you have some great points, and then you've introduced it with a strong hook, here you are with an amazing keynote. Now, this is a foundation, or this is like the basics of it, and there are so many variations on it. So I'd love to know in the comments, how do you prep for a keynote? How do you prep for a speech? How do you brainstorm about it? And what help do you think you would need? So one of the things I'd love to offer you is a framework that I have called the Speech Writing Outline. That one is where you can go jot down all your notes for the speech that you are preparing for. If you would like to have it, please make sure you drop outline in the comments, and I will make sure to get it to you without any delay. And if you have questions, drop them as well, because I love helping people do this. Having a voice is one of the most powerful things you can do. Helping you be the voice of this next generation is part of my mission. I believe that every opportunity is a speaking opportunity, and if you grab that opportunity, people will listen, you will be seen, and you will be heard. Whatever you choose to do, make sure you like, subscribe, and drop the word outline so I can send you that speech writing outline. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye for now.